Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning. It is a good morning. It is good to be here today. This is Black Men Unfiltered, rocking with Black excellence on this Saturday. So, guys, you're normally used to seeing the ladies here on today. The ladies are off today. The ladies will be back on the first Saturday in March, rocking it with you guys again on Saturday. But today is a special day, ladies and gentlemen. It is a special day. Man, I have someone here that is amazing, has an amazing story, amazing background, very inspiring guy, a guy that will walk into a room and smile, and everybody's day will get better. My guy, man, I've been knowing this man. It's an honor to know him. It's an honor to know him, but I've been knowing this man since we were children. He's been knowing my dad, and he'll tell a story about my dad and his big rock wallet later. I'll let him do that later. But it is amazing to know him. It's amazing to look at his art, to look at his work, to look on the screen and to see someone that you grew up with being so excellent and so diligent in what he does. It's amazing. It's amazing. But enough about me talking about him. Let's go ahead and get him in here this morning, guys. I would like you to welcome the man of the hour, my brother from another mother, Mr. Roger J. Timber is here today. Roger, what's going on, man?
What's happening, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Hey, you rocking the hat?
You got it, man. Look,
y'all see that?
Looking good for us right now. I'm trying to turn you up a little bit.
Okay. Who that, man?
It's you're kind of low to me.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. What about now? Is that better? A little low on your side. You may need some.
You're still low to me. I got your volume all the way up.
Do you have headphones over there? Maybe some wired headphones, maybe.
It's all good. I can hear you, but I'm just saying, it's just kind of low.
Okay. I just want to, if you can hear me, because I could try to speak loud. I turned everything up over here, but I don't know what that could be. But anyway, it's so good to see you, man.
Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate the offer.
Yes, absolutely.
The opportunity, and I say opportunity, it's always an opportunity to, be a part of someone else's job.
Yeah.
Be a part of something else that someone else is involved in, someone that you know, especially someone that you know.
Right.
Man, I've had so many people help me throughout the way, or either, participated and supported me in stuff that I was doing and still to this day. So anytime, you need me for something, or you reach out to me about something you're doing, I want to be a part of it. I just, creativity, man. It's amazing that you're doing this. You have your platform. You have your, the last thing I did with you, we weren't live streaming. We were
right.
Radio.
Absolutely.
And you just keep stacking and keep stacking and keep stacking and keep stacking, man. And I am proud, from the little boy that used to ride his dad's bus, to where you are now.
Yeah.
Man. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I saw you on my other brother's channel. Edgar and Courtney.
On the lit. I really want to do their show again, because when I did their show this summer, I was going through a lot. I was going through a lot, and I really hope I get blessed with the opportunity to do their show again, man. I really would love to do it.
Yeah, and shout out to
doing very well.
Absolutely, and shout out to Edgar and Courtney, man, for doing great over there. I
still say, Edgar, Helen, your sister Helen is still the coolest person in your family. Helen is still your mother's coolest child. I don't care.
I heard you say that to him.
Professional ball. I don't care who Edgar Jones is. Helen Jones is
the best.
Mrs. Woolley Jones' favorite child of mine. I'm just saying. And she's the most talented. Helen wanted to play professional ball, but back then, they was like girls couldn't play professional football. But right. Helen was the most talented. Helen was the strongest and the fastest. She could always outrun Edgar.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Man, I heard you say that on their platform. I was laughing so hard, man.
Because it's true.
Helen was tough, bro.
Right. Yeah.
Helen is tough. So, and man, again, man, they are doing great things. So shout out to Edgar and Courtney on the Lit Code. If you haven't subscribed to them, please go to their YouTube channel and subscribe. I've been putting out their content, but they were on my show Wednesday. I did a show with them Wednesday. They co-hosted with me here, and we had a great time, man. We talked about family values. We talked about bringing back the nuclear family, the husband and the wife and the children, how to get that back. Because we seem like we're losing it. So I'll even start with that because I have some interview questions here, but I'll start with that and get your mindset on that. What do you think it takes for us as a culture to get that back, that foundation, a strong foundation of mother, father, and children all back in the nuclear family?
First of all, that's a great question. First thing comes to mind is, number one, you got to love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You got to learn how to love yourself. You got to learn how to take care and nourish yourself. Because if you're not 100% if you're not at your 100%, you can't really do anything for anyone else. You have to love and nourish yourself first. Self-love, 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 self-love. It's very big. It's very important.
Right.
You have to do that first. Then you have to pray. You have to pray. You have to understand that, I used to play this role of Mr. Fix-It. People come to me, I would try to fix their problems. Mr. Fix-It. I can do it. You want to get involved in this? Let me help you. Let me make a call for you, whatever. And in doing that, I got burned many times. But in doing that, just this summer, I learned you can't help anyone that doesn't want to help themselves. You can't save anyone that doesn't want to save themselves.
Right.
You're wasting your time. You can give all of your time, you give all your money, you give all your love. But if they don't want to love and save themselves, then you're wasting your time. It has to be a two-way street. I can do my part, but you have to do your part. And the end of the bottom line is, I can't save you from yourself.
Wow.
I just learned that this past summer.
Wow.
That's how long I've been playing that role of trying to be Mr. Rescue, Mr. Save. And I just learned that this summer. You can't save anyone that doesn't want to save themselves. Wow. And once you get that understanding, pray, love yourself, and then the understanding that you can't save someone that doesn't want to save themselves. Once you do that and have that understanding, you are better for that person. Because all of the guilt, all the anger you feel about you doing this and asking them to do their part and they're not doing it or whatever, that anger is no longer there. Because you finally understood, well, I'll give you information, I'm done. You can have it from there. But, in regards to family, once you pray and love yourself, then I can give you the love. Then I can show you how to do the same thing for you. And then that creates that bond.
Right.
That starts something new.
Wow. Thank you for that, man. I think that, I learned a little bit from that too. I think as we grow, like you said, so many of us want to be Mr. Fix-It, right? I'm like that too. I have that same spirit. I want to fix everything. But it's inspiring to hear you say, hey, you can't fix everything. You can't help those who can't help themselves, that don't want to do the work. Right. So that's inspiring for those who are out there listening right now. He just dropped some gems. You need to get your pen and paper out. But so, Roger, tell us a little. I know you, but tell the audience about yourself, where you grew up and where you started.
Rayville, Louisiana, man. Rayville, Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, we had a good time.
Man.
We had a good time. I wouldn't trade my childhood for anything, because everything I did in my childhood, family and everything like that, it's made me who I am today. It was tough, and I say it was tough because I was on a path that no one else was wanting to be on. So I didn't have any guidance.
Right.
Meaning in the arts, going that direction. You know, I used to enjoy as a kid. We would do plays at Macedonia Baptist Church, and Miss Nettie Lee. She would have us in plays. Miss Nettie Lee and Miss Thelma Pella. They were in charge of us doing plays at Macedonia Baptist Church. And I used to look forward to that. Vacation Bible School.
Man, loved it.
Summertime Macedonia. I used to look forward to that. So I grew up focusing on the older people in the community. Miss Lee, Miss Pella, the older, and even the much older ladies in the churches. I grew up focusing on them because they always just had love. No matter what the situation was, at home, at work, community, or in the world, those ladies, those people, those individuals, they always gave love to us as children. So I think that really instilled in me today to do a lot with children. And those people in our community, they would do a lot, but they didn't want any credit for it.
Right.
It's just doing what they had to do. So that was another thing, like, hey, I'd like to do what I do, but I don't want my name attached to it.
Wow.
That's key to me. So, and then there was always my teachers. I always tell people I had the best teachers in the world. I still talk to a lot of my teachers today. Gloria McElroy, Jody Hempfield.
Oh, wow.
Coach Eddington. Steve Woolley, Coach Steve Woolley, and Miss Woolley. They were very big inspirations to me.
Yeah, husband and wife teachers, man, dynamic duo.
I don't think Coach Woolley and Miss Woolley knew how much of an inspiration they were to me and still are. I just told them that this summer, whatever. Free Enterprise was a class I took with Coach Woolley.
Yeah,
meant the world to me. I still use all the things that he taught us in that class to this day. Freddie Rivers was in his own lane. He looked out for us as children, and a lot of people didn't get that then.
Right.
But I could always see what he's trying to do. He's trying to educate us. That you come to school and do this and that, but you need to educate yourself on the history of being a black man in America.
Exactly. And you know what? You said something. I'm going to interject just a second. You're saying so many names over here. I'm getting chills, bro, because the same people that were influential for you were the same for me. When you say Freddie Rivers and you say Coach Willie, I'm like, oh my God! Like these people were very, especially Freddie Rivers. Every time he spoke to a black little boy or a black young man, he always was teaching what you just said. Have the mind. It's got to be here. And so, man, but I didn't mean to interrupt, but man, that's I got chills over here, bro. Go ahead.
All good. The librarian, Miss Burgess, in high school. In middle school, Miss Betty West.
Yeah, Miss Betty West, man.
Time I spent with Miss Betty West and Miss Barbara Harris, music.
Yeah.
But I spent more time with Miss West, and I learned a lot from her. A whole lot. I read every biography in our library when I was in middle school. I read them all. And that people always call me a bookworm. To this day, I read a ton of books, novels,
Right.
Ms. West has had that in me back then. Ms. West also was one of the teachers who taught me that you can communicate a universal love through cooking for people.
Yeah.
Ms. West used to come to school, have greens, turkey necks, turkey wings, fried chicken, cake. You didn't want to go to lunch.
Right.
She would just have it back there. Y'all come on in, babe. Come on in and get you something to
eat. Yeah.
And sit down. But you could do that then. You know what I mean? You can't do that now.
Right.
Coach Larry Wilson got in my ear 7th grade. He said, hey, look, people you hanging with, They all gonna get in trouble. He says, you need to make a decision right now. Which road are you going to take?
Right.
You gonna take that road, that group over there, the cool people now, or you gonna follow your own way? He said, I would advise you to make the right choice. He didn't tell me which way to go. He said, just make the right choice. And I thank God every day that I made the right choice. And those are my boys. I love them, but we just had different paths.
Mm-hmm.
We were going different directions. High school, also middle school, Mr. Minshew, my math teacher. I'm good at math to this day because of him.
Mr. Minshew.
Yeah, Miss
Wow.
Pipes, Miss Davis, those sisters, they were very strong and influential to me.
Math and English, bro.
Yes, sir. You got to have it. When
Yeah.
I got to high school, man, and got a hold of Mr. Swick.
Mm.
Mr. Swick, everything we talked about in class, what, when I was there, when I was there, they, the time that I went, everything that we talked about in class, he had already been there to see it.
Right.
So I got my love for traveling through Mr. Swick. And, Ms. Molly Gamble. Ms. Molly Gamble was very inspirational to me because she's like, just be yourself. Say, Roger, you are annoying, but just be yourself. You're just different. But I talk to Miss McElroy all the time, her and Miss Hemphill. I just called Miss McElroy the other day. But I talk to them all the time. Coach Brown used to say during football practice, we would practice, but he would always drop some life gems on us. He was like, look, man, everybody here not going to the NFL.
Right.
So you need to find a life. You need to find a career. So you can get a job. He said, but go find you a career. Go to school, get your education. Even if you don't graduate from college, just go to college experience, get a feel for it, but do something. Don't just walk around raving all day. Now, I will say this. There are people in Raven that are very big in the community that walk around Raven all day, and they have always been big in the community. God rest his soul, Lewis Lee.
Yeah.
I seen Lewis Lee come out of his pocket many times to help children in the community who didn't really have a lot, who wanted to do something, but he was just making sure they were safe, and we would go on trips, basketball games, whatever. I remember Lewis Lee walking there. He's like, hey, hold on, man. I need to make sure this kid got something to eat. Hey, and I'm not going to call that kid's name.
Right.
But he's like, hey, come on here, man. What you want? Make sure you get something to eat. That was Lewis Lee. He was always doing that children. He'd go to the corner store, that little sandwich shop they had over there. He'd go in and get him some, but there'd be 2 or 3 kids hanging outside. Y'all come on in here and get y'all something to eat. What y'all want? The love for children, man, you can't take that. And that's why I just have it, the love for children. But, all of those people in the community,
Johnny Mack.
Really, that really stuck out to me.
You remember Johnny Mack? Remember Johnny Mack too?
Oh, man, that goes without saying. I've spoken about Johnny Mack so many times. And I want to say this. I am very thankful to the management at the McDonald's in Rayville, Louisiana, for the 2 years they did help me get the Johnny Mack Day recognized, and people at City Hall, Miss Deborah Turner, Coach Lewis, helping me get the Johnny Mack Day recognized, because Johnny Mack was just, they don't make them no more.
No.
There are no more Johnny Macks.
No.
Johnny Mack work at the Cotton Gin all day. He get out of work and he go straight to the Raven Recreation Center and, coach kids, baseball, basketball. He's really out there with the softball or whatever, just coaching kids. Just make sure they're doing everything right. He'd go to McDonald's and get bags of hamburgers. Back then they had the hamburgers 49 cents, they had
49 cents,
59 cents.
Yeah, come on.
Just get bags of those and bring them to the rec for kids to eat. He'd work all day. Hey, if there's a football game, he'd go home, shower, come right on to the school. He was out there on the chain game. Away game, we go to away game, Johnny Mack running the chains for the away game.
Yeah.
Basketball, he's there. They don't make them no
No,
more. So I
him,
can never
you know,
forget Johnny Mac.
yeah, Johnny Mac, Preacher. I mean, come.
Preacher was one of the ones who he was substitute teaching one day.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Preacher when he used to work for the light company.
Wow.
Go back, you have a conversation and go all the way back and say, hey, man, he used to work for the light company. I remember he worked for the electric company in Rayville. He used to drive the big company truck, had the antenna on. I remember that.
Wow.
But then when he got involved with the Rayville Recreation Center, it changed Rayville.
It did.
See, Dijon would come in with the tie on. He was more handling the business stuff.
God rest his
Preacher was
soul.
there all day, every day with the children. Then Lois came in. Lois was taking on the girls, and Preachers was taking on the boys. And the lessons Preacher taught us, that was, they don't make him in the community no more.
Nope.
And Preacher had a basketball team, many basketball teams at the Rayville Recreation Center that could beat Rayville High School basketball teams. Right. That could beat just about any basketball team in the area.
Man,
that's how good of a coach that Preacher was. That's how good of a mentor he was with kids. That Rayville Recreation Center was open all the time. Preacher Lois was in there.
Yep.
And it was a safe haven, and there was always something going on with children there. I don't know who's over now, but whoever's over, it's following in Preacher's footsteps is that's a dash. The most important thing on your tombstone is the day you born, and the day there's a day you born and there's a day you died on your tombstone. But the most important thing on the tombstone is the dash in between. Yeah. Preacher's dash. Yeah, you can't. That's a big dash.
That's some big, yeah, man. That's a big.
He was substitute teach every now and then, and one day we were in class. He was substituting for our biology teacher, and he's going around like asking people what they want to do or whatever. There's always people make silly comments or whatever. And I said, I want to be an actor, and everybody started laughing.
Right.
Preacher said, "What's funny?" He said, "How many actors do you see? Now, how many actors from Rayville do you see on TV right now? Nobody can say anything." He said, "So he could be the one. So, man, you want to act, go act." And he say the ones that are laughing now, those are the ones that are going to be clapping then later on. He's right.
He's right.
So those people, yeah, man, they don't make them no more.
No.
So I try to do my part in being like them. I just do it with quietness.
Right. And you talk about your inspiration, and you just named a couple of people, but who was the most influential person in your life? And before you answer that question, I wanted you to elaborate on this, because people think that I'll be lying to them, Roger, when I talk about Miss Barbara Harris and the impact that this woman had and how she demanded her respect. I'm telling you. And I was like, you know what, if we get in her class and we get to singing and you're not on that right note, you're playing, you may get a shoe thrown at you.
Oh, yeah. do. Woof. All right, come on. And the walls came a tumbling. Just like the shoe out of spray can didn't just fly, But, go ahead. Miss Harris, like, you definitely, you don't see them anymore. They don't make them no more, and now I'm not going to say it's because all of the rules we have now. I'm not going to say that. It's just the love for doing her job. Miss Harris had enough, every year as a teacher, you accumulate so many paid time off days. Miss Harris had enough days saved up to where she could take a year and a half off work. That's how many days she had saved. That's how much she did not miss work. I'll never forget her telling us that. She just loved doing her job. She just loved being there. She loved being inspirational to children. She loved giving children advice. And I will tell you, the things that she told us then, it's like she was looking into the future.
Yep, exactly.
She sat in that classroom, and the ones that was acting a fool and doing silly stuff, And she stopped playing the piano one day, and she went around the class and she pointed out each and every last one that was doing something silly, and she told them where they were going to end up in. And she said, "I'm going to tell you why.
Exactly.
Because you are carving your path to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You're going down the wrong road." She
Man.
said, "I'm telling you, it's like I told these people in the past," and she would name some names from the past. She said, "I told them the same thing. And I told them they could stop it if they changed the things that they were doing." She said, "But they didn't stop. They kept doing it." And I told them where they were going to end up at. And every person she named out from the past, they ended up that way.
Wow.
So, nowadays people say, "Well, you don't talk down to children like that. You can't talk to kids like that. You discourage them." No, she's telling you the truth.
Yep.
If that's discouraging to you, then you should do something to fix it.
Yep.
But you can't do. They don't make them no more. She's very early on, man. She was ahead of her time, and she was past her time.
Yeah, her and Benny.
Yeah,
her and her husband. They were both amazing. Mr. Harris drove that bus. He had the same impact on the bus that she in the lunchroom. I forgot about that. Mr. Harris was in the lunchroom and on the bus, and his wife was a teacher. Man, they don't make them like that no more. Yeah, man.
Nobody can do a flow like Mr. Harris, man.
No. So who was the most inspiring person? Like I said, you've named a few, but who's the person that sticks out to you the most that to this day, when you're acting, when you're on set, the person that comes to your mind and say, you know what, this person inspired me. I am here because of this person.
My grandmothers. I never got a chance to meet my grandfathers. My grandmothers. My grandmothers, one of them had to walk over 12 miles going to school every day. That's going. Then you got to turn and walk back. Then you they stayed at school to about 12 o'clock. Then they had to walk back and go straight in the field and work. And my grandmother, one of them made it to the 6th grade. That was big back then. But look what she had to endure going. And now we just talking about the walk there and the walk back and then going in the field. You tend to forget during the walk, you weren't safe. Because at any given moment of time, it could be some rude or mean people come through and say things to you, do things to you, and sometimes even kill you.
Right.
So, that, and then let's not even mention the condition of the school that they were going to, the hand-me-down materials that they had to use. My other grandma, she always spoke about getting up early, making pot of big bucket of food for the children and a big pan of bread for them. Because before the sun came up, you was doing that and you went straight on in the field. And you came back from the field when it was dark. So, those they weren't really good at reading. They did what they had to do.
Right.
And they were still so much better than other people, if you get my drift.
Right, exactly.
So imagine if they would have had proper schooling and proper education. Imagine what they would have done with that.
Man.
Very, very dear. So I think about my grandmothers all the time, man. They protected me. They gave me love, nourished me, and showed me how to treat people. They always instilled in me, don't treat people like they treat you. You do the right thing. We all have a certain side of us. You push us to a certain point, that side to come out. But both of my grandmothers, they at the bottom of their heart, they loved everybody. They just it was good loving people. So I always go for them. They inspired me more than anybody.
Wow. And so just to name a few. You've been in a lot of projects. You worked on a lot of projects. So I know you did one a long time ago. I heard you on the Lit Code podcast talking about one that you did while you were in school with the rest of your kids, with Bird and you did a small movie. I think it was a small movie that you did back in the day with your classmates.
Oh, Global Meltdown, man. Yeah,
that was your first.
Dr. Lane, Mr. Lane. I think he's still. I had to find Mr. Lane. Last I heard, he was teaching at West Monroe High School. He was like an administrator. I need to find him. Actually, Monday, I'm going to call West Monroe High School or whatever it's called now,
right,
and see if Mr. Lane is still there. But yeah, we were going to put on a play so we can raise some money and go to take a field trip, our science club, whatever. And then, we trying to put it together, and it was like, man, we're going to run out of time on it. And finally, Mr. Lane said, gosh, let's make a movie. We're like, what? Make a movie? We're not in Hollywood. He's like, no. This is how we'll do it. He said, my brothers and I used to do it all the time. And when he broke it down, I'm like, okay, it's cool. So we shot a movie in Rainbow. It's the coolest thing ever. And I fell in love with the business right there. That was it for me, man.
Wow.
Mr. Lane, we made a movie. It's called Global Meltdown. We still say that Tom Cruise and everybody stole our idea. Global Meltdown was first.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible came out. Even though Mission Impossible was a TV series before that. But we felt like the movie part was stolen from us. We're going to keep saying that.
Absolutely.
But it was so cool. It was about, I was a scientist, and this evil person that was played by Desiree Sanders, she and her evil goons kidnapped me, man, from my lab, and they used my powers. They were going to use my powers to melt Antarctica, and Antarctica is going to melt down there, and it's also going to melt the North Pole too. So water would just collapse over the entire Earth. But Johnny Bravo, that was played by Jeremy Davidson. I think Jeremy still does Hand Raven. Johnny Bravo, he rescued me, and him and his partner, Fantasia Higgins and Todsberg, they rescued me, man. They had put me in a hole up in the jail above, the courthouse. Used to be the courthouse in Rayville. And then they had moved me and they hid me atop of Albert's. Used to be an Albert's store in Rayville. They hid me up there. They broke me out, man. We escaped. We was driving this fast car. Jeremy didn't know how to shift the car.
Jeremy!
We had to take off. So we supposed to get the car and take off. Jeremy got in. We all and then the car took off. It was hilarious. But man, yeah, so they stopped her, they captured her and put her in jail because we was that close. We were 2 minutes away from her using her evil rays to melt the earth, melt the ice in North Pole and South Pole. She was gonna flood the earth, man.
Wow.
Coolest thing ever. And look, so we did it. Then we edited it together. We went over to Monroe and had someone edit it together. And so we showed it. It's only 10 minutes long.
Right.
We advertised at school like we're going to show the movie because back then they would have a TV in the office. You could play it, push play on that, and the movie would show, or whatever was on the television office would show in every classroom on their TVs.
Right.
So we did that, and we sold popcorn.
Wow.
And it was the coolest thing ever, man. That got me into
global meltdown, dude. I'm putting this in my phone, bro. So do you still have a copy of the movie?
I do, somewhere. I do have it though. I want to get it. I need to find that so I can get it. It's somewhere. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna put it on. Try to get it digitalized so my daughter can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's amazing.
Meltdown.
So when you made it to Hollywood, right? What was your first gig? The first thing that you ever did, and how did you feel when you got there? Were you nervous? Were you starstruck? If you saw any celebrities there, like what was going on with you? How did you?
No, I wasn't starstruck, man. I don't like to bother people. I don't like to bother people at all. So I think the first thing I did, I was down in New Orleans and I did this movie called Blackwater Transit. I think that was the first thing. I think it's Blackwater Trans was the first thing I did, and I was supposed to be. I ended up getting cast as a camera guy, and so my first time on screen, I have still never seen the movie because I don't think it ever got released. I think it just got released a couple of years ago, but it was just like thrown out in the universe. But my very first time on screen was with Beverly D'Angelo and Lawrence Fishburne in a movie called Blackwater Transit.
Mm.
I was Beverly's cameraman, and my first time stepping in front of the camera, in Hollywood wise, was with Beverly and Lawrence.
And how was Lawrence? Like, did you get a chance to get some nuggets from him? Did you get a chance to converse with him?
I talk to him all the time. He's good people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't stay in touch with him then. That was like then. The last time I brought that movie up to him, he didn't remember that. That was so many moons ago. But we laughed at that. But but just being in his presence. So back then, I was just sitting back and watching. I only had one night of doing it. And then I, stood in for him the rest of the time. But just that night being on screen, I was just sitting back watching, man, just trying to soak up what I could soak up, man. But that was my first thing, and I still have never seen it. Like I said,
wow.
And that was just by accident. That was by the universe, whatever. And I'll say this: if you show up to do your job, you never know what's going to happen. Because I was not an actor in that film. I wasn't supposed to be an actor in that film. I was just there doing background stuff, and the director came out, looked at me, walked in, came out with the first AD. They both looked at me. They walked in, and then the first AD came over and said, "Hey, man, you're going to be the cameraman." I'm like, okay. So go over there with Beverly, and we're going to get ready to rehearse. Just the way it happens. And, another thing that comes to mind, remember the movie The Great Debaters?
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Washington? They shot it in Shreveport. It was the day before my birthday, actually. I had tried to audition for the movie. Of course, that I didn't get anything or whatever. So I ended up being an extra in the movie. So it was one night. It's a night, like I said, night before my birthday. We're all the extras, in the extras holding or whatever. And the second assistant director came. He walked in the room where everyone was. He said, "I need two people." I said, "Hey, here we go." And I grabbed a girl. I grabbed her. Hey, here we go. He said, "I need two people, man and woman." Here we go. I grabbed her and we went up there and said, "What you need us to do?" And she like, who? What? Hush. What you need us to do? So he said, "Look, I need a couple making out. I just need y'all, it's a scene outside, a bunch of people. It's outside a club, back in the day. So, people outside getting busy, making out or whatever." And so I said, "Okay, good." We went outside. I didn't know this. Like, I don't know what this girl is to this day. I didn't know her. I introduced myself to her. I said, "Hey, Roger, whatever, look, we got to make this look good." So I said, "Just follow my lead." So I understood there are boundaries. So I was talking to her to make her feel comfortable and relaxed, but my actions and motions were saying something totally different. So I'm doing what adults do outside or whatever, in that atmosphere. But at the same time, asking her, "How's your mom? How's your family? You have kids, you have a sister, brother, how's your family? What do y'all do for Christmas and things like that? How do y'all get along or whatever? What do you like to do? What do you want to be when you become an adult? What career?" I'm asking her and talking to her about all these things, like what foods you like. Talking to her about all of this, but at the same time, kissing on her neck and rub, doing,
Right.
whatever. And all of us, I'm in it. Our emotions are going, but you can't hear us.
Right.
We're not mic'd. So I was able to talk to her that way. Then I hear, "Cut. Hey, I like what you're doing." It's a person talking to me as they're walking up to you. Like what you're doing or whatever. You're doing good. Slow it down a little bit. You know what? Get a little bit more into it. You're an adult. You know what I'm talking about. But I love that. Keep it up. And they'll make the movie. I turn around and it's Denzel Washington.
Oh. Wow.
That's Denzel Washington.
What was your? That's what I was going to ask. What was your feeling? Like what?
Visceral.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Denzel Washington.
Wow.
What you're doing has nothing to do. You're not the stars in there. You're a background person, and your job is just as important. When you do your job right, people see it.
Right.
That was enough for him to stop the camera and come and give me direction.
Wow.
I'll never forget that.
Wow.
Never forget
Bro, that's man.
that. I didn't need to be in the movie. That was it for me. And
Wow.
guess what? He kept his promise. It made the movie. So if you watch The Great Debaters, when Nate's character is, they get ready to go to a bar, and he comes, the camera's coming in, and he comes down. Nate's getting ready to hop down off a cliff, and the camera pans across these couples, but then you see a man with a hat on, and he's moving. You see the back of the man, but he's up on the woman. That's me and that lady. He kept it in the movie.
Wow.
So.
Dude, that is crazy. That is crazy, bro. I don't even think nothing else will match up to you meeting Denzel. What do you think?
What's that?
Nothing else will compare to you actually meeting Denzel, right? Like,
well, Mr. Washington. I'm saying this. I say Mr. Washington.
Yeah.
Man, he's good people. He's the best at what he does. I mean, moments, man. I'll never forget being able. We were locked outside. Actually, set of Blackish. We were locked outside, and I got to hang with Sidney Poitier and his assistant and his two assistants. We were hanging out there on the golf course. We used to talk. He was funny.
Yeah.
He was cracking jokes, heavy cracking up or whatever. I would joke with his assistant. He was like, she like you like her. Why don't you give her your phone? Just cracking up. He was cracking us up. And so finally the bell stopped, the light went off so we could walk on stage then. So I can tell my kids and my grandkids, I got to walk one of the greatest actors that ever lived. I had his arm hooked on his arm. He was hooked on his arm right here. I was on this side, and his other assistant was on the other side, and we walked him from the golf cart to the sound stage, and we were getting ready to take the step up to get on the stage, and above the door is a big Blackish photo, and he stopped, and he looked up, and he said, I remember when none of this was possible. Put his head down and walked in.
Man.
It's Mr. Poitier.
I'm over here. I'm in awe.
Yeah, man. So those moments, you take those moments, man. Those things stick with you. But I never did come at anyone with any fandom. You do what you do. I just talk about life. I'll talk to Mr. Fishburne. I'll talk to Oba Babatunde. I'll talk to Bob Wisdom. I'll talk to Brent Jennings. I'll talk to them, and nothing we talk about has anything to do with acting. It's about life. Some of the best books that I've ever read were recommended to me by Lawrence Fishburne. Some of the best knowledge I ever had as a, family man came to me from Brent Jennings. Brother Oba Babatunde. If I'm getting ready to go do, no matter what I'm going to do, I'll reach out to Brother Oba, man. Hey, look, I'm getting ready to go do something. Can you send some words or some energy my way? And he sent it. Bob Wisdom. We talk about the spirit, meditation, the importance of it. You got to give, you give it out, but there's so many things in the universe, so much positivity. You have to be open to receive it. And when you receive it, you have to do your job and give it out. I talk to these people about life. It's just a job, what we do. It happens to be in front of a camera. It's just a job. It's like you sitting on the side of that microphone. That's a job. That's a career. That's a career you have. It just happens to be a career where you can use your voice and people can hear you and respond to you.
Right.
But the important thing is life in itself. I worked more as an actor when I started living my life. Stop needing to need a job, needing to have a job, needing to want to act a job. Oh, I need to book this, I need to book that. I want to book this. Stop needing that. You live your life and put forth the work. So when that audition come or that opportunity come, boom, you hit it. Like, oh man, it's good. Well, because you're living. You're not acting, you're living. You can't sit around and wait on this gig, wait on that gig. Man, you got to still live.
Exactly.
You're not working like you want to be as an actor. You find other jobs. Okay, find other jobs in between, but you know what you want to do, but you still got to live.
Yep.
Yeah, man, you know, I have, before I leave this earth, I have a lot of books I need to read. I have a lot of books I need to write. I have a lot of conversations I need to have. So I'm focused on that. And I just happen to have a career that's going well, that's gotten better since I started to live. And I've done some great things. I've been around some great people, and I get knowledge from them all. I get knowledge from them all. You have places that you're at, and those things are stuck in your memory forever. But while you're there, don't just party, get some knowledge.
Right.
I will never ever forget. I was in New York, and I was accompanying a good man. We went to, Spike Lee was having a birthday party for his wife at this place called a Gold Bar in New York. Famous guy. Had a birthday party for her there. Music executives in there. There's Diddy here. There's Anthony Anderson here. There's Spike Lee and his wife there. But had just left a dinner with John Legend, and then went to see Janelle Monáe perform when she was just becoming Janelle Monáe.
Wow.
You know, she had the hair like
yeah.
there. Everybody was like, who is this girl? Then she's there at the birthday party, right? And then we're having a good time. Jay-Z and Tata walks in the door. Right? Get to say hi to them. Very good night. So I step outside the club to get some air. This is very funny. Car come around the corner. Turn my music high, 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 high. Yeah. You don't know what you do. Jay-Z and Tata and them coming out of the club. And Jay-Z started rapping. I came into the 100 grand strong.
Wow.
It was just the love that he had. You know, he's a star. But he still appreciates his music enough to when a car rides by, he bobbing his head and singing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gets in the SUV and leave. The next morning, and we've been filming all that day. We was at this spot, whatever, you know, film like, man, they got flowers being delivered to the roof, you know, the building, whatever. So all that happened tonight. The next morning, news breaks. Jay-Z and Beyonce gets married in New York.
Oh.
Freaking hilarious.
Dude, you always in the right place at the right time.
But wanted nothing, just get my most, you know, the best part of the night was just having a brief conversation with Ty. You know, that's Jay's right hand person.
Yeah.
Drop some gems, man. Diddy dropped some gems. You just get the knowledge. When you get the knowledge, use it. I was standing in for Ice Cube one time, man, on this movie called Long Shots. In Shreveport.
Yeah.
And I love Cube, man. Cube is a great soul. Yeah, you hear the music, you're like, man, it's dope MC, dope rap, you know, yeah, you hear all of that. Yeah, great. But Q he has a good soul. He's
Right.
not only a good musician,
Right.
not only a good producer, he has a good soul.
Right.
He has good people around him. Brother Ron, but BR, Brother Ron, Kibo, God rest his soul, Big Hurt, man was Monster, you know, just good people. Debbie, you know, on his makeup, Debbie, you know, just good people, man. And so we're throwing the ball one day. He's like, man, what do you want to do? I said, man, I want to be in front of him. He's like, you know, you should produce, you know, produce your own stuff, man. He's like, you know, it might be a little bit harder doing an 8.5 by 11 thing. That's going to do great, but eventually produce your stuff, use your own money. So you can set it anywhere. He's like, we're here shooting this in Shreveport, but this is set in Chicago. He said, you know, do it your own. And then they stopped. He's about to go to the store. They stopped him. We had to go back to filming, right? Cool. 3 days later, we're in the stadium finishing up the movie. He sitting down taking a break. He walks up to me. He say, all right, man, so what do we leave off at? Yeah. He said, okay. He said, when I was doing Boys in the Hood, man, we finished. John Singleton walked up to me and said, when you going to start writing? Because there's nobody in Hollywood going to write for you like I did.
Man.
Q has a great soul, man. You know, good people.
So I want to ask you this, because I know that you're a busy man. So I want to ask you these few questions that we've done. What was the least favorite movie you've done, and your favorite movie you've done?
All of them are my favorite. There is no least favorite because it's so hard to get them.
Right. Okay.
You know, when I got to, here's something else I learned. On that set of Blackwater Transit, my first thing, whatever, I was always under the mindset, like, in between takes, you still got to have your sides so you keep learning your lines or whatever. But during this take, in between take, I seen Lawrence Fishburne sitting down, and he had a book about this thick. About this thick. This camera throwing me off here. Book about that thick. I'm like, he's supposed to be learning his lines? Fast forward. We're on a set of Blackish. In between takes, you know, it's people looking at their sides or whatever. Just reading a book. Cut. He go grab a book. If he don't bring his own book, just grab something.
Wow.
If you prepare and do your job right, by the time you get set, oh, that's done, man. You ain't got to, you do what you want to do in between takes. So now, when I go to set, whatever, you know, I learn from that. You know, my job is done. I'm just here to work, do my job, and in between take, I'm saying I'm in my novel. I'm trying to finish as much of this book I can in between these take while I'm on this job, because you know I can go home and read another book.
Right.
You know, like I'd see, you know, I was just filming something last Friday, man, to be exact. And in between takes, it's funny to me now. In between takes, you know, everybody go sit down in their chair, they pull out their phone, they got a text or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I was doing a movie down in Louisiana 2-3 years ago. And it rubs off on people. Right. So I'm sitting there. We're doing a thing. We did our rehearsal, whatever. We shot the first scene. Like, all right, cut. All right, new deal. We go back to our chairs. And I was texting, kind of other people. Then they get together and they get in their sides. Like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Hey, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting over there. And one of the guys next to me said, psst, yeah. Man, why you ain't trying to learn your lines? I said, man, look, my work is already done before I get here. It's just the way of preparation. So I took watching Fish do that I got an opportunity to see Sam Jackson on set.
Mm.
I would work around Essie Pate the Murkison. In between takes, they're not looking at those sides, trying to learn. They already done that. In between takes, they're reading something, like a book or novel, something. So I gather from that. Brent Jennings, Obo Babatunde, in between takes, they got novels. So I took that from them and I used, and it's the best thing I ever done. That's the best piece of information anyone could have ever given me. And it works for some. It doesn't work for everyone, and that's not knocking the people that it does work for. It worked for them. I tried it, and it worked for me.
Mm.
So, you know, like I said, you just grab. You around these people, you grab it. You have to grab
Right.
and use this stuff. You find out what works for you.
Man, and lastly, man, I just, like I said again, you've been in so many great TV series and movies.
Oh, the
You know,
question. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
okay, go ahead.
Did I answer the question correctly? All of them were so hard to get.
Right.
So all of them are just as important.
Absolutely.
As the last, is the first one as the last. They're all just important to me because it's hard to get there. There's millions of actors, and you know maybe for that role, maybe 40, 50, or 100 and some of them, maybe more than 100 tried out for that role, and you end up getting.
Wow.
Very important.
And so and again, man, I see so many movies that and TV series that you've been in. I see you on SWAT.
Man,
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I told my son, bro, and my son is so intrigued by you, man, that and I say, man, I know him. I went to school with him. I grew up with him. My son was like, no, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
And he's 14. So at the end, he's trying to go through the credits. He said, what's his name? I say, his name is Roger J. Timber.
Yeah.
He goes through the credits. He say, his name is Roger J. Timber. I said, yeah. So he saw you on I think SWAT, because I was watching it or whatever. And I said, I know him. And then you on SWAT, you on Insecure, right? On HBO's Insecure.
Insecure, man. That one came out of nowhere, man. I didn't know if they was gonna keep the scene. There's a lot of times when you in there, you only do one scene, man. Sometimes you just sit at mercy. You don't know if they're gonna keep the scene or not. So I didn't do, as for SWAT, I knew I was gonna be there. I did some ADR for us. I knew all this other stuff was gonna be there. But for Insecure, I hadn't seen anything. I hadn't heard anything. I filmed that in May. I hadn't seen, I heard anything, and I knew it was the last season, so I didn't know what the deal was gonna be with it. So I just announced one time and just threw it in the air. Didn't know what it was gonna be. Insecure. I had no idea that me being on Insecure was going to give me the recognition that it did. I had no idea. I had people blowing my phone up, people that I thought would have no idea what Insecure was. If you know what I mean.
Exactly.
They watched the show.
Yeah.
So having that happen, man, was good. I had friends from all over the world. London, Japan, India.
Wow.
Hey, you're on Insecure. That was crazy. And you know what I love most about that? Issa Rae. She was true. I see why the show was a success. Because it starts at the top. Issa Rae was so kind. Her spirit. Issa Rae has an amazing spirit. So for everybody that follows her, especially young girls or whatever, she's the real deal. She just has an amazing spirit. She's such a professional. She's so kind, but you can sense a person's spirit. Issa Rae has an amazing spirit. And I just pray that God continues to bless her and she continues to go higher, because that one scene with her was enough for me. Before we even shot the scene and we did the rehearsal, I knew automatically she has a good spirit. Yeah. We did, and we had fun, but you can't tell me nothing bad about Issa Rae because she has a good spirit. But I had no idea that was going to totally cut me off guard. Didn't happen right before the holidays. Maybe. So you still have people like around New Year's or whatever still texting. Like just the other day, somebody was just catching up on the series. Like,
Right.
hey, why you didn't tell me you were Insecure? Like, I didn't know you watched the show. I really didn't know you watched it. You know what I mean? I didn't know that was your cup of tea, but now I know.
Yeah. And so let me ask you this. This is the last thing, man, because I know you have to go. But you and Anthony Anderson have a great relationship, right? Great friendship. Anthony
Yeah, man, he
Anderson.
brought me into business.
Right.
You know, they're you know, we don't talk a lot like we used to because we grew up his part and we doing our own thing. But he brought me into business, man. I started out his stand in this business, so I got to go a lot of places that a lot of people can't go. There are quote unquote A or B list actors in Hollywood that still can't get into some of the places I've got into with him. They just can't. That's the one of the benefits of working with a celebrity of his caliber. But I didn't see him as a celebrity. I see him as a good man. Law and Order. Tabor Reed for Law and Order. You have the actors, the writers, and the executive producers. And Roger sitting at the table. You're in New York City. There are restaurants there are only A-listers get into. Come on, man, we can go have dinner at this spot over here. We can go have lunch over here. There are people who have movies who have maybe had 3 or 4 movies this year. A lot of those places that we went to and got into, they can't because there's well known, there's famous, and then there's celebrity. There's celebrity.
Right.
And he groomed me for certain things in this business, showed me just a different style of life, man, different quality of life. When I post things now about certain foods, about certain places I go to eat, people think it's weird. Like, where did you come? Yeah, you didn't grow up like that. Yeah, well, I grew up in this business like that because I was around. So I love Whole Foods to this day. He introduced me to Whole Foods.
Right.
I know anything about Whole Foods. There's different kind of cuisines. There's different cooking shows. There's different styles of cooking, and then just introduced me to so much, man. It was so much knowledge. Working with him for 12 years, just knowledge you can't teach it. You can go to any school in the world, you won't get that knowledge. You can do as many projects as you want, but some of those places you just can't get into. Yeah.
And so, and lastly, now I see they brought Law and Order back with Anthony, right? So are you going to, or do you think in the future you'll be in there?
What's that?
They brought Law and Order back with Anthony.
Right. I was glad for it to come back, man. It should have went ahead and broke the record then, but there was some politics stuff going on, I think, with the studios, networks, or whatever. But I'm glad it's back on. I'll only be on as an actor. I won't be a stand-in no more. I can't stand in anymore. Because if you go back to being a stand-in, then you just turn around. You can't turn around.
Right.
You at a certain point, you got to keep going. I would love to be on Law and Order and acting role, man. Of course, that's why I cut my teeth at Law and Order.
Right.
A lot of stuff I'm doing now, dramas, sitcoms, and all that stuff. I was trained in that by working with him as his stand-in on that.
Wow.
So I got to go, learn how to get multicam, hit the points and beats, read the script, break all that down like that, work on an hour-long drum. I already know what to expect. 8-day shoot episode, I already know Tabor from everything that goes into it, the length of the days, everything. I was trained by that by working with side by side with him when he was doing all that stuff. So, I kind of grew up in this business on stuff like that by working behind him. And working with him, I met some great minds. Some of the most influential people in the entertainment business, just in the world, I was able to meet through him, and I still stay in contact with a lot of those people. Or a lot of people that work very closely side by side with other people. Like I'll say this one time. He called me one time and said, "Hey man, we'll get dressed. We can go to a barbecue." I'm like, cool. We pull up to the gate or whatever. Yeah. Who you gonna see? Eddie Murphy. So there at a barbecue with Eddie Murphy at Eddie Murphy's house. But sitting down, we're all sitting outside laughing and talking. Jermaine Jackson walks in. Ray Parker Jr. is already there telling stories. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Ray Parker
Ghostbuster.
Jr.
Right.
Raphael Sadiq.
Oh,
I love Raphael Sadiq.
me too.
I got to sit down and just talk with Raphael Sadiq about life. Like, you talk about amazing spirit, calm spirit. Raphael Sadiq, man. Man, we just talked about life. Maybe like 20, 30 minutes just talking about life and peace. That brother's so at peace, man. But me at Ray Parker Jr., talking about working with Barry White in the studio and Aretha Franklin, talking about that. And then there's just one of those lady there, and she asks Jermaine, she was like, Jermaine, who was it that inspired, that was very inspirational to you and your brother that you never seen? Before she even finished, she said Stevie Wonder. Just hearing so many people talk about Stevie Wonder that day, man, it's just truly amazing. And then fast forward that to later on that night, we're sitting down talking with Eddie, and I don't know, we watching something, man. And I just brought up the question. I say, man, so just the question to the room. I say, so well, we were talking about Michael Jackson. And I said, so Mike invented he invented the moonwalk. That's so cool. And Eddie's like, no, he didn't invent it. He said, he just perfected it.
Mm.
He said, there are certain people that you look at and you just see that God put their hand on them, that they just blessed with a gift that no one else can have. He's like, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, they was just blessed. And I just thought it was so cool to hear him say that. And I'm thinking the whole time, but you're Eddie Murphy.
Right.
So I have nothing but respect for Eddie Murphy and his family, his cousin, Ray Murphy Jr. That's my man there, man. I love Ray. Ray Murphy Jr. I love that brother, man. That's his cousin right hand. But I love Ray. Always keep in touch with Ray, make sure he's good. But things like that, man. You get knowledge, and you just hold knowledge and use the knowledge, and just like I said, the universe gives you these things.
Right.
You got to put them back out there. Other person, someone else that has a good spirit. Terry Crews and his wife, they have a good spirit. Terrence J. I love Terrence J. I haven't seen him in a while, but just amazing spirit. Michael Strahan, that's God's gift. That's that brother. That his spirit is so strong, man. His spirit is so strong, man. He's just, it's people like that, man. It's just different. Glenn Turnham, truly amazing.
Wow.
Truly, truly, truly amazing. The way he spoke about what his organization does with children, getting ready for, teaching about the rodeo. Just truly, 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 truly amazing, man.
Right, man.
And said, I could say it. Cedric Entertainment is just a gem, man. Just, just good, just good person. He make you laugh, but he just makes like the uncle that you all that everybody has.
Right.
And but being with Anna and DL Hughley, man, it's good soul. I always say, if another seat opens up on the View, DL Hughley got to be on there. That brother doesn't. He knows everything. Politics, all that. He knows everything. He can get with the best of them.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? He can sit there. He can get with you, man. But just good stuff, man. Just good people, man. I was able to get close to all these people and learn from all these people because of my work with yeah.
Yeah, man. Thank you. So again, man, thank you. Now, do you have any other projects that's coming up that we need to know about, and tell people how they can follow you?
Uh, I just filmed something last week. I just filmed the episode of this show of Disney Plus called Big Shot last week, and right now it's airing right now. Kids show Warped on Nickelodeon. Hopefully, we get picked up for a second season. We get picked up for a second season. I'm sure I'll be back on that. I have a movie, The Longest Sleep. I don't know if that's. I'm sure it's going to come out this summer. I don't know what platform it's going to come out on. I'm getting ready to do a traveling food show. I'm producing all that on my own. I just did something 2 weeks ago, and I'm flat out honest with you. I don't remember what it was. I'm literally drawing a blank. I'm sitting there like, this is so embarrassing. I literally did something 2 weeks ago, man. And I'm paying for 2 things now, but I did something 2 weeks ago. This is so embarrassing. I don't remember what the project was.
You're just busy, man. You're just busy. That's all.
This is embarrassing because I don't remember what the project was. But it was 2 weeks 2 weeks ago. This is bad. I don't. Wow, drawing a blank. But have that, man. I'm most excited about now. Not partnering, just being a sponsor for this product that I've been using. It's just amazing to me. I can't wait till I can announce that natural product. But to me, man, I'm just about giving on new things and all my Under 5 at 5. Turning that into a podcast. I've been doing the videos for a while, but for me, podcast is the best way to go. Right. So it's literally, it'll be 5 o'clock in the morning, and we're looking at putting a second part, so it'll be 5 o'clock in the evening too. But it's Under 5 at 5 because it's never going to be over 5 minutes, and all of my parts that I've ever got in television and movies have been, they call them under 5s. Right. And so, and I'll do it either 5 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the evening. So Under 5 at 5. And it's just inspirational things. Talking about life situations, maybe something I have or something I did or something that happened to me that day or something that happened to me that morning. And, it was inspirational, or either story, something that I'd been involved in. Maybe I talk about something that a doctor told me or something, or right. Organization has just Under 5 at 5, man. It'll never be over 5 minutes. And I'll tell you, if you count it, to kind of give you an idea, if you listen to Steve Harvey before his morning show, and at the end of his radios, he had the morning inspiration, and at the end of his show, he had the closing remarks. It would be something like that, man.
Okay. Well, amen, Roger, man. Thank you so much, man, for taking the time out to bless us with your presence today. I know you're very busy, man. You got a lot going on. You have a very beautiful family too. I just want to say,
I'm getting ready to go cook for them right now.
so man, all my love to you, man. All my love to your family, man. Keep up all the greatnell, man. You are a great inspiration to everybody that we grew up with, man. So thank you so much.
Look, next time I do this, I have more time, and we gotta talk about the bus. Your dad and the bus. How's everybody doing, man?
He's doing good, man, and he's still on that bus, bro. He's still on that bus, man. He will not let it go.
Man, your dad had a dog that should have never been in the neighborhood with children. And he would be walking the dog. The dog would be pulling him like, I got him. No, you don't. There you go. That dog is dragging you. That dog's dragging you. You don't have the dog. You can bet that dog eat somebody.
And you know what? His name was Boss. He was a Rottweiler. His name was Boss.
Yes. He looked like a dinosaur. I want to ride as a dinosaur.
Oh, those are the good days, man. Next time you come, dude, we're going to go down memory lane, man, and have a ball, man. But I really appreciate you, brother. I love you, man. And blessings to you and good energy to you and your family, brother.
Thank you, brother. Peace,
man. All right. Peace, man. Brother. Thank you, brother. Guys, that was Roger J. Timber, man. The greatness of Roger J. Just to know this man and to know that he's been on with Denzel. He's been on with all these different people, right? He has a great career. He's continuing to move and move and move and do great things. And so God bless him, his family, his career, and everything that he's doing. Thank you guys for being here today. You guys have been amazing. You've always been amazing. I know you guys are going to go back and watch this later, so please share this content. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button for the algorithms as well. Again, guys, this has been Black Men Unfiltered. And we sat down and talked with Black excellence on today. And so, again, we'll continue to do this, rocking with Black excellence, because that's what this is and that's what that was. And if you want to see something positive, you just did. If you wanted your children to see something positive, then they definitely should go and let them watch this episode of fun and inspiration from him. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for keeping rocking with me. I'm blessed to have you guys, have this circle of people that support. So again, thank you guys for being here. We'll see you guys on Tuesday, right? On Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Peace.